The rain was falling in thin, icy sheets over the city skyline, turning the pavement into a mirror of glistening neon colors. Most people hurried home, umbrellas high, heads low. But the man standing before the enormous glass doors of Ardent Industries didn't need to rush. He owned the place. Ethan Ardent, CEO. Billionaire. Feared in business, envied in society, respected by everyone except the loneliness that shadowed him when the office lights dimmed. It was past midnight when he left the building, tired after another day of ruthless negotiations and endless phone calls. His driver rushed forward with an umbrella, but Ethan waved him off, preferring the cold sting of the rain to numb the pressure in his chest. But then, a small voice cracked through the storm. "Sir, please, help me." Ethan turned sharply. At the edge of the building's steps stood a little girl, so tiny he almost missed her. Her jacket was 2 sizes too big, sleeves clinging to the wet ground. Her hair was soaked, and her shoes looked like they'd been worn for years. She hugged a teddy bear tightly against her chest, its fur ruined by the rain. Ethan frowned. A child, out here alone. He stepped closer, lowering his voice. "Where are your parents? Are you lost?" She shook her head, trembling. "Sir, my mom, she isn't waking up." Her voice was a fragile whisper, as if she was afraid the words would shatter something inside her. Ethan felt a strange, unpleasant twist in his heart. "Is she nearby?" The girl nodded quickly. "In our house. I tried everything but she just won't get up." Ethan went still. Medical emergency. This was no time for questions. "Where do you live?" he asked. She pointed down the street, past the tall corporate buildings to the older part of the city, where broken windows and rusted fire escapes replaced luxury condos. Ethan signaled his driver to stay back. "I'll go with her. Lead the way." The girl didn't walk. She ran, clutching her teddy bear, skipping through puddles. Ethan followed, rain soaking his expensive suit, but he didn't care. They left the bright streets behind and entered a dark alley where streetlights flickered, walls stained with neglect. Ethan's breath slowed when he noticed how familiar this kind of place looked. He had grown up in areas like this, forgotten by the world. Finally, she stopped in front of a small apartment building with bricks crumbling like old memories. The front door wobbled open without being touched. Ethan's jaw clenched. No lock, no safety. The hallway smelled of dampness and stale air. Somewhere a baby cried behind a thin wall. The little girl hurried up one flight of stairs, then down a narrow corridor with peeling paint. "This one," she whispered, pointing to a door with the number 14 almost falling off. Inside, it was dark except for the streetlight that squeezed through a cracked window. The room was tiny, kitchen, bedroom, and living space all in one. A few empty cans lay on the floor. A portable heater sat silent, long broken. And on a sagging mattress, a woman lay still, unmoving, skin pale under damp hair. A single blanket covered her body, but her arms looked thin, too thin. The girl rushed over. "Mommy, I brought help, see." She tried to shake her mother's shoulder, gentle at first, then desperate. "Please wake up, please." Her voice broke completely. Ethan's chest tightened. He crouched beside the woman, leaning close to check her breathing. Relief washed through him when he felt a slow, shallow rise of her chest. "She's alive," he murmured. The girl released a tiny sob of relief. "Do you have a phone?" Ethan asked urgently. "No, Mommy's phone broke. We couldn't fix it," she whispered. Ethan pulled out his own and dialed emergency services. As he gave the address, he scanned the room. There was no food, just an empty jar of peanut butter. The heater didn't work. The girl's blanket was thin and patched. This wasn't just poverty. This was survival. "How long has she been like this?" he asked gently. The girl sniffed, wiping tears with her sleeve. "She got sick yesterday. She tried to go to work but she fainted. I tried to wake her. I kept trying." Her teddy bear fell to the floor as she clung to her mother's cold hand. "Did she drink anything? Eat?" The girl shook her head. "There wasn't enough food for both of us. Mommy said I should eat instead." Her voice echoed like a punch to his chest. Ethan swallowed hard, memories stirring of his own mother skipping meals so he could have something in his belly. "Are there any neighbors? Anyone who checks on you?" The girl lowered her gaze. "We don't really know anyone here. Mommy works all the time. I wait for her and we sleep, and she smiles at me even when she's tired." Ethan's eyes softened. He sat beside the girl carefully. "What's your name?" "Lily," she whispered, hiccuping. "Lily." He forced a small, steady smile. You did the right thing coming to me. You're very brave. The ambulance sirens grew louder outside. Lily jumped up, clutching Ethan's sleeve. They'll help her, right? They won't take her away. Her biggest fear wasn't losing her mother to illness. It was losing her to the world. Ethan crouched to meet her teary eyes. Lily, these people want to help her get better. You're going with her, I promise. She stared at him, not fully convinced, but desperate enough to believe. Paramedics rushed in, lifting her mother with careful hands. They checked vitals, asked questions, but Lily stayed glued to Ethan, holding his hand tightly as if he were the only thing keeping her upright. As they carried her mother into the ambulance, Lily looked up at him again. Her teeth chattered, both from cold and fear. Sir, can I come with you? Her voice was almost gone. Ethan didn't hesitate. Yes, I'm right here with you. He lifted her gently into the ambulance and climbed in beside her. Lily curled against his shoulder, clutching her teddy bear as the vehicle's doors shut with a heavy thud. Rain kept thundering outside, but inside, there was a fragile silence. Lily kept whispering, Mommy, please wake up, I need you. Ethan looked at the unconscious woman, her hollow cheeks, her trembling breathing, and something inside him shifted. He had spent years surrounded by wealth, marble floors, and golden ceilings, yet none of it had ever pulled at his heart like this small family fighting to stay together. As the ambulance sped through the night, Ethan reached over and brushed a strand of hair from the mother's face, whispering to himself. You're going to be okay. I'll make sure of it. For the first time in a long while, the billionaire wasn't thinking about profit or power. He was thinking about a little girl who showed up in the rain, clutching hope in the shape of a teddy bear. And how that might be the moment that would change his life forever. The ambulance screeched into the hospital bay, lights flashing red against the wet pavement. The doors swung open, and nurses rushed to receive the unconscious woman. Lily's small hand clung to Ethan's coat, refusing to let go even as they wheeled her mother inside. Stay with me, he murmured, guiding Lily through the bright hallways. They sat in the waiting area, white walls, harsh lights, and the cold chill of fear that hospitals always carried. Lily curled into the seat, teddy bear in her lap, eyes fixed on the door her mother had gone through. Ethan removed his soaked suit jacket and wrapped it around her shoulders. It swallowed her tiny frame completely. Minutes turned into an hour. Doctors walked briskly past, but no one stopped. Ethan was used to controlling situations, one call, one command, and the world moved. But here, he was just waiting, helpless. Finally, a doctor stepped out. Middle-aged, tired eyes, clipboard in hand. Mr. Ardent, he said, surprised, recognizing him. Yes, Ethan replied, immediately rising. How is she? The doctor looked from Ethan to the girl, who stared up desperately. She's stable, he said, and Lily breathed out a trembling sigh. Severe malnutrition, dehydration, her immune system is very weak. She collapsed due to extremely low blood sugar levels. She needs rest, proper nutrition, and medication. We're keeping her in observation for at least 2 days. Lily looked relieved, but her relief was fragile, like a candle flame in the wind. The doctor continued gently, how long have they been living without proper food or heat? Lily lowered her head. Ethan answered for her, quiet, angry at the world. Too long. The doctor nodded sadly. We'll do everything we can, but after she recovers, social services will have to evaluate their living situation. Lily froze. It was the exact thing she feared. She jumped to her feet, gripping Ethan's hand as if her life depended on it. No, please don't take me away. I'll be good. I'll take care of Mommy. Please. Her words cracked, panic flooding every syllable. Ethan crouched down, steadying her by the shoulders. Lily, no one is taking you away. I'm here. The doctor cleared his throat uncomfortably. We just need to ensure safety. If she has no job, no support, I'll support them, Ethan said sharply, his CEO voice emerging, one that tolerated no argument. The doctor blinked. Yes, whatever they need, housing, food, treatment. Ethan spoke as if he'd already decided. Because he had. Lily stared at him, tears glistening. You won't leave us. Ethan softened. No, you came to me for help. I'm not walking away. The doctor excused himself after noting Ethan's commitment. Lily climbed into Ethan's lap the moment he sat down again, resting her head against his chest. He tightened his arms around her, wondering when he had last held someone so small, so trusting. He pulled out his phone, calling his assistant even though it was nearly 2 a.m. Claire, I need a furnished apartment prepared immediately. Warm, safe, stocked with food and clothes. And arrange a private caregiver from tomorrow morning. His voice was low but fierce. Claire sounded stunned. Sir, of course, right away. By the time he hung up, Lily had fallen asleep, exhausted. Ethan positioned her comfortably and brushed her hair from her face. A strange protective feeling settled into his bones, solid, immovable. Hours later, a nurse came out. You can visit her now. Ethan carried Lily in his arms. Her mother lay awake in the hospital bed, eyes red and tired, but alive. When she saw her daughter, a weak smile lit her face. Lily, she whispered. Lily's eyes fluttered open. Mommy. She scrambled from Ethan's arms to the bed, hugging her mother gently, careful not to hurt her. The woman's gaze moved to Ethan, confused, emotional. He helped us, Lily said proudly. He came with me. Mommy, he saved you. Ethan stepped back, suddenly unsure what to do with his hands. Your daughter found me. She's incredibly brave. The woman's lips trembled. Thank you, I don't know how to repay. You don't have to, Ethan interrupted. But her embarrassment was visible. She hated being a burden. I'm Maya, she said quietly. And I'm sorry for the state you found us in. I lost my job last month. I tried to keep things normal for Lily. Her voice broke. Lily squeezed her hand. Mommy, it's okay, we're okay. Now, Ethan cleared his throat. Listen, I've already arranged somewhere safe for you both to stay once you're discharged. A home, food, heat. Maya's eyes widened, panic replacing gratitude. No, we can't accept that. You're a stranger, we don't know you. Lily looked up at her mother, confused. But Mommy, he's kind. Maya's fear wasn't hostility, it was protection. She had been fighting for their survival alone, and accepting kindness felt dangerous. Ethan nodded slowly. I understand. He stepped closer, his tone gentle. Then allow me to help as someone who grew up exactly where you are now. Who knows what it's like to see your mother sacrifice everything just to keep you alive. Maya looked at him differently then, less like a stranger, more like someone who understood the invisible pain she carried. You don't owe me anything, he added. Let me do this, for Lily if not for you. Tears slipped quietly down Maya's cheeks. She kissed her daughter's forehead and whispered, okay, we'll accept your help. Lily beamed and threw her arms around Ethan again. Thank you, he hugged her back, and didn't realize until that moment how much he needed that small pair of arms around him. For the next 2 days, Ethan visited regularly. He brought warm clothes for Lily, food she loved, and books to read. Nurses whispered among themselves about the billionaire who sat in a child's chair reading bedtime stories and learning how to braid tiny strands of hair. He was different with her. Softer, warmer, human. Maya watched from her bed, gratitude growing, but also fear of the world they were now stepping into. On the morning Maya was discharged, Ethan arranged a private car to take them to their new home. Lily's eyes widened as they stepped inside the cozy apartment. Clean walls, plush couches, a tiny bedroom for her painted with stars on the ceiling. Her laughter filled the space like sunlight. Maya stood by the door, trembling slightly, overwhelmed. Mr. Ardent, why are you doing all of this? Ethan looked out the window at the city rushing past below. Because no child should have to beg a stranger in the rain for help. He paused, voice softer. And because, if someone had helped my mother back then, she might still be alive today. Maya's breath caught. The room fell quiet, heavy with unspoken grief and newfound hope. Lily ran to them, grabbing both their hands. We're a family now, right? Ethan smiled, a rare, genuine smile. Not yet, Lily, he said gently. But we're something important, and we'll figure out what that is, together. As evening light warmed the apartment, Ethan felt something he hadn't felt in years. A future forming, not built from money or power, but from a promise he intended to keep.